Japan was given the same fighter jet America keeps for itself, the F-35. Same base aircraft, same design. But when Japanese engineers looked at it, they realized something. They could make it better. So they did. And now, American military planners are quietly asking a question they didn't expect to ask. Did we give our allies a better version than we kept for ourselves? Because the aircraft rolling out of Japanese hangars today aren't just standard Lightning IIs. They are heavily modified, locally assembled stealth platforms armed with unique indigenous systems that the United States Air Force doesn't possess. Japan took America's apex predator, tore into its ecosystem, and tailored it for the most dangerous airspace on Earth. Today, we are going head-to-head, the American F-35 versus the Japanese F-35. We are going to look at the classified radar tech, the exclusive weapons, and the $33 million premium Japan pays to build them at home. And by the end of this video, you will understand exactly why the Pentagon is looking across the Pacific with a mix of extreme pride and deep regret. When Japan bought the F-35, they got the exact same version America uses. During the early days of the Joint Striker program, Japan wasn't even a Tier 1 partner like the United Kingdom. They were looking at the aircraft through the Foreign Military Sales program, aiming to replace their aging F-4 Phantoms. The American assumption was simple. Japan would be a buyer. They would purchase the aircraft, fly the aircraft, and rely on American supply chains and American weapons to keep their skies clear. It made sense. The F-35 is heavily locked down. The software, the diagnostics, the physical engine core, America keeps a tight grip on the intellectual property of the Lightning II. But America made a calculation. Japan's unique threat environment meant it needed modifications. You see, the United States Air Force operates globally. They need a jet that can drop bombs in the desert, patrol the Arctic, and fly from Allied bases in Europe. Japan? Japan operates in a very specific, highly volatile neighborhood. They are surrounded by the deep waters of the Pacific, the massive ballistic missile arsenal of North Korea, and the rapidly expanding stealth fleet of the Chinese People's Liberation Air Force. Japan accepted the base model F-35, then asked, can we improve it? And because Japan is arguably America's most critical strategic bulwark in the Pacific, Washington agreed to unprecedented levels of integration. But here is where the story shifts. Japan didn't just buy the jets, they negotiated the right to assemble them domestically. They built a final assembly and checkout facility, or FACO, in Nagoya, run by Mitsubishi Heavy Industries. This wasn't just about putting wings on a fuselage. This was about Japan learning the intricate DNA of fifth-generation manufacturing. It was the first step in a quiet, methodical process to transform the standard American F-35 into something uniquely lethal. So, what exactly did Japan change? How did they take the most advanced fighter on Earth and upgrade it? Let's start with the radar systems and air-to-air weaponry, because this is the biggest shock that lies. America strictly controls the F-35's physical radar hardware, the AN-APG-81. Nobody is allowed to swap that out. But Japan found a loophole to upgrade the system's overall lethality beyond U.S. specifications. Instead of changing the jet's radar, they changed the missile's radar. The United States F-35 relies primarily on the AIM-120 AMRAAM for beyond visual range combat. It's a fantastic missile, but Japan wanted more. So they partnered with the United Kingdom to create the JNAAM, the Joint New Air-to-Air Missile. They took the body and the ramjet propulsion of the deadly European Meteor missile, and they slapped a Japanese-built Active Electronically Scanned Array, or AESA, radar seeker right into the nose. This is terrifying for an adversary. Usually, a missile relies on its own small conventional radar to find the target in the final moments of flight. But Japan's JNAAM has an advanced AESA radar built directly into the weapon itself. It is highly resistant to enemy jamming, scans incredibly fast, and outranges the standard American AMRAAM. By integrating this indigenous weapon into their F-35s, Japan effectively gave their fighters a longer, sharper spear than the one carried by American pilots. Then there's the avionics integration. The standard F-35 communicates using a highly secured network called MADL, Multifunction Advanced Data Link. It's great if you're talking to other F-35s, but Japan operates a massive bespoke defense network called JADG, Japanese Aerospace Defense Ground Environment. Japanese engineers meticulously integrated their F-35s into this domestic combat system. A Japanese F-35 isn't just flying, it is continuously feeding telemetry to Japanese E-767 AWACS planes and sharing targeting data directly with Japanese Aegis-equipped destroyers out in the ocean. What about engine tuning? You will often hear rumors on the internet that Japanese engineers physically tuned the Pratt & Whitney F-135 engine. Here's the truth. America locks down the physical engine core tight, but Japan absolutely optimized the aircraft's performance software for their specific missions. The U.S. F-35 is a multi-role strike fighter. Japan's F-35s are heavily tasked with high-speed, rapid scramble intercepts against Russian and Chinese bombers probing their airspace. By integrating domestic standoff weapons like the Joint Strike Missile, Japan's F-35s optimize their thermal management and flight profiles for rapid, over-water sprints rather than loitering over a desert battlefield. And speaking of the ocean, let's talk about the stealth coating. Salt water is a stealth killer. It eats radar-absorbent material for breakfast. Because Japan's F-35s operate exclusively in a maritime environment surrounded by the Pacific and the Sea of Japan, the stealth application process at the Mitsubishi Heavy Industries plant in Nagoya is critical. They apply the coatings with an extreme focus on anti-corrosion, adapting the stealth maintenance to survive the brutal, humid, high-salinity environment of the Japanese archipelago. Every single modification, from the AESA-equipped missiles to the local assembly to the JADG network integration, makes perfect sense for Japan's island defense strategy. But collectively, they have created a variant of the F-35 that is arguably better equipped for Pacific warfare than the American jets it was based on. If we put an American F-35A and a Japanese locally assembled F-35A in the sky next to each other, the visual differences are subtle, but tactically the gap is wide. Let's break down the head-to-head comparison. First, weapon loadouts. The American F-35 carries the IM-120 AMRAAM for air-to-air and a mix of JDAMs and cruise missiles for ground targets. It's a jack of all trades. The Japanese F-35, however, is a specialized assassin. With the integration of the JNAAM, Japan has a distinct advantage in the terminal phase of beyond visual range combat. For anti-ship duties, which is critical when defending an island nation, Japan is heavily investing in the Joint Strike Missile, or JSM. This stealthy cruise missile fits perfectly inside the F-35's internal weapons bay, allowing Japan to sink enemy warships from hundreds of miles away without ever breaking stealth. America has only recently begun looking at adopting the JSM for its own use, proving Japan was ahead of the curve. Second, radar and electronic warfare. Both jets use the exact same ANPG-81 main radar, but because Japan's missiles have their own AESA seekers, and because their jets are plugged into the proprietary JADG network, the Japanese F-35 has superior situational awareness in its home territory. The American F-35 is an expeditionary fighter. It brings its network with it. The Japanese F-35 is a home field defender. It plugs into a massive multi-billion-dollar web of ground radars and naval sensors that the U.S. simply doesn't have permanent access to. Third, carrier capability. The U.S. Navy operates the F-35C, a heavy, large-winged variant designed for catapult launches from nuclear supercarriers. Japan took a completely different route. Because their constitution technically forbids offensive aircraft, they purchased the F-35B, the short takeoff and vertical landing variant. They then modified their Izumo-class helicopter destroyers, reinforcing the flight decks with heat-resistant coatings to handle the jet's exhaust. This means Japan can disperse its F-35s across tiny, remote island runways or launch them directly from ships. They have turned defense into a highly mobile, unpredictable shell game. Finally, cost. This is the kicker. Importing a finished F-35 from the United States costs a specific amount, but Japan pays a premium, roughly $33 million more per jet to assemble them locally in Nagoya. Why would they pay more for the same plane? Because they're not just buying a jet, they're buying the education. They're paying to ensure their domestic aerospace industry, specifically Mitsubishi Heavy Industries, understands how to build a fifth-generation stealth fighter. Which leads us exactly to why the Pentagon is getting nervous. America's military planners face a problem they didn't anticipate. For decades, the flow of military technology was a one-way street. America innovated, America built, and America sold it to its allies. But with the F-35 in Japan, the technology is flowing backward.
By allowing Japan to build the jets domestically, and by allowing them to integrate advanced indigenous weapons like the JNAAM, America inadvertently accelerated Japan's domestic aerospace industry. Japan learned exactly what makes the F-35 tick. They learned its strengths, and more importantly, they learned its limitations. And they didn't just sit on that knowledge. Japan is now using the manufacturing expertise gained from the F-35 FACO facility to build their own future stealth fighter, the GCAP, or Global Combat Air Program, in partnership with the UK and Italy. This is the source of the Pentagon's regret. The United States handed its closest Asian ally the keys to the fifth-generation kingdom. By giving Japan the ability to modify the F-35's combat ecosystem, America gave away its exclusive monopoly on advanced stealth integration. Japan has evolved from a subordinate buyer into a peer competitor in military innovation. If a future conflict breaks out in the Pacific, it might not be American F-35s leading the charge. It might be Japanese F-35s firing Japanese upgraded missiles, guided by Japanese networks and capable of vertical landings on remote island runways. That is a strategic nightmare for China. It means that any move in the Pacific won't just face the United States, it will face a Japanese military that possesses stealth technology that is, in several critical ways, more lethal than America's. Japan's F-35 isn't a secret weapon, it is a masterclass in adaptation. They took the world's most advanced fighter jet, accepted its compromises, and engineered them out of existence for their specific theater of war. The student hasn't just mastered the master's tools, they've forged better ones. What do you think? Did America make a massive mistake by allowing Japan to assemble and upgrade the F-35, or is a highly lethal Japan exactly what the U.S. needs to deter threats in the Pacific? Let me know down in the comments.